I'm about a month into my summer product design internship, and these are just some broader takeaways that I didn't really expect going into this. Let's get started. So first things first, I would say I did not expect this many meetings, more or less, because I understand that now looking back, this company's 10K plus people, and with that, there's gonna be a bunch of meetings in which it's I'm on a broader product team where I'm embedded in, but that means that I'll be working alongside, say, maybe just a marketing team, a broader UX writing team, a UX research team. As with this company in particular, UX research and UX writing, for example, are a shared resource among just different type product groups that are just in this broader ecosystem altogether. Because for me, I'm currently under a manager, and within that team, it's a team of several product designers, UI designers, and an UX writer even. And with that, this would be one of many different management groups altogether, of which they're all based around just one function of the business altogether. But I'm surprised to see that, as I'm quite used to just small type startups and not as companies as developed in the UX process. But I would say another thing that this came with was having to work in more agile type environments, as I'm familiar with it in particular, but with this, it's just daily stand-ups, having to work alongside just developers, product managers, and just other groups outside of your familiarity and your comfort zone altogether. As with design, you might imagine, okay, I'm just designing all day, might have to iterate with a design team or something else, but that's the extent. But no, with this, you're working with broader product group and these just embedded groups altogether. But with that note, I would say that with all these meetings, with all these people, definitely chunk out and block time to be okay, right now I'm gonna design for 2 hours or the set time. Then from there, I'm gonna go to this other meeting or this other thing. Because otherwise, it's really easy for you to just get swamped in meetings and not actually do work in a day. Not that meetings aren't work, but it's what I mean in terms of getting these processes done, getting these deliverables done, so that you can just finish a task and just get stabbed on another one. But I would say with that, it's just definitely take your time to just iterate on this, as with design, it's not the quantity that counts, but eventually just the quality of the work that you put in, being able to back it up in terms of why you went about this, how you went about this, and explaining your process altogether. But I would say that's just a good focal point to have in terms of whether it's a design internship in particular or just moving on in your design just career altogether. Another thing that surprised me in terms of this company in particular is that on Wednesdays, on a bi-weekly basis, so once every 2 weeks, there's a sprint review in terms of just going over the past 2 weeks of what everybody's been up to in terms of all these broader product groups of all these business functions altogether, and having them just go over and just talk about what they've been up to, what's in it for their business value and what they bring to the table, and just where they see themselves going in the future. And on top of that, I would say that there's also a Thursday just ideation type event in which it's just going over just designs everyone's been working on, and just working with your manager in terms of having them just be the overhead of this all together, and have everybody just share and just talk about designs they've been working on, hoping to receive feedback, critiques, and more. similar to which like you're presenting from a classroom type setting. But in addition to that, another pretty cool thing has been design fairs. So with this, in our company at least, there's a design and research fair every 2 weeks in which everybody more or less just like shares what they've been up to, just like tasks that they've done and just like works in development. And they pretty much talk about this for like a minute or so and just like elaborating on like what they've been doing, how they've been going at it, and just like any walkers along the way. Similar to which the sprint review is done, but this would be more just like design and research team and the broader just like team I'm based in. But I would say that even though all I've said previous was like more corporate type setting, I would say that right about now it's just like I really enjoy how just like even with all this like corporate type stuff now, it's still not like too serious now. Everybody's pretty casual. You can just like reach out to people and they're pretty receptive. If you have any questions you might have, you just reach out to like anybody who like might have some expertise, even if they're not in just like your broader team altogether. Don't feel afraid to, as with this online, just like whether it's like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, etc. type environment, everybody's just like wanting some human attention here and there, and at the end of the day they're not gonna say no to like an intern being like, hey, can I pick your brain for a review, or just like, can I just have a coffee chat to just like talk about their career and just like just general things altogether. This can of course be done and extended to just like fellow interns among other things, but I think as life transitions back towards just like the office space, similar things can be done, but there's definitely pros and cons to each, because like pros wise, like everybody's like really accessible, you can find a person, time on the calendar and go from there, whereas in person it's just like, hey, can we just grab lunch or like do something like that. But I won't go on a ramble much further, but this has been a conglomeration of just like thoughts and other things that have been just like on my mind as of now. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and don't forget to be awesome.